what's good, y'all? You know what time it is. Welcome back. New York's new number one, Real Sports Talk. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Jay in the building. I'm trying to do this for my first time. So y'all, they gave me the runway, so I might fuck it up, but that's cool, right? You know what I'm saying? You got Jay in the building. You see Cash, Q, Ra, D. We're gonna turn up. But before we do that, I want to address all you sexuals that was attacking me over last week's episode. Listen to me. I get the whole LeBron attachment and how y'all feel about him, and y'all still fucking 40 years old and got the poster up in your mom's basement, you know what I'm saying, watching cartoons and shit. I get all that. I totally do. I totally get that y'all want to see him with his shirt off and all that other shit. I get all that. I get all that.
Eating cereal.
Yeah, but relax, right? It's just it's sport banter. That's what this is. It's sport banter. We're gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk factual. We're gonna give our opinions on certain things, and everybody's entitled to your own opinion. You can have your opinion. Just be respectful, right? Or else book a flight. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Like book a flight. I'm totally with it. But other than that, to the people that did speak respectfully, I appreciate the back and forth. I understand. I'm gonna be wrong sometimes. Maybe y'all will be wrong sometimes. Whatever. But it's sports. We're having a good time with this. We're gentlemen at heart, but y'all can catch a fade at any given moment. You know what I'm saying? Let's just relax with some of the shit y'all saying.
Just relax.
So with that being said, I'm gonna throw it back over to Cash and let him bring us back to reality and bring it up.
Civilization.
Let's take a shot. Let's take a shot for the
all
the niggas in their mom's basement watching cartoons.
Up. Yo,
eating Lucky Charms.
It's all the poster kids and the Fruit Loop eating dudes and shit.
Time out. Then my man Jay said vodka. You drinking a Manhattan?
I'm drinking vodka and orange.
It's a Manhattan. That's a classic Manhattan. That's what you're drinking is a Manhattan.
God, it's a screwdriver, God. Screwdriver.
It's a double. Pause.
Damn, I gotta get my bottle. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna take 2 next time.
Yeah, yours too. 2 for
absolutely. 2 for
Shot of clock.
You know what's crazy? Like, getting back to the barnsexuals, the guy who's going back and forth. That was me. I'll fuck you up. I'll catch the flight. I'll catch the flight.
Yo, Yo, Rod had burner accounts. He was
burner. Fucking KD over here.
KD. Rod had Rod had 4 Mexicans in different accounts. All writing back to you in English.
Yeah, get him. You go. I'm attacking him in. You now.
Yo, that's crazy.
Follow it up.
But yo, welcome back to Real Sports Talk. Like Jay said, New York's new number one sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. I am your host, Cash. I got my esteemed co-host with me. I got Jay with me, Q with me, Rob with me, D with me. What's going on, y'all? Happy Easter. How y'all feeling?
Happy Easter. Feeling cool, man. You know, the Knicks is Knicks in 4, baby.
Knicks in 4. All right, fuck it. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Yo.
Somebody disagree with me. I mean, like, if we look at the debate, I know somebody's going to agree with me.
Shit, I don't. That's what I want. I never disagree with you. Knicks in 4. I can never be mad at that. But
they was looking shaky up into that 4th quarter. I don't know, man.
Let me set the table. Here we go. Look, after all the Knicks talk last week or two, right? Y'all better watch out for Detroit. You know, Detroit's coming. They tripled their win total. You know, all these pundits picking Detroit. All these different analysts coming out of the bushes and hating on the Knicks, as they usually do around this time. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we was listening, man. Brunson, Cat, Tibbs, they was listening, man. Believe that, man. Knicks beat the Pistons game 1. Wasn't easy, especially in the first half. A real close game. Brunson came out cold. Cade came out cold. They looked, trepidatious. They looked off. Maybe some say it was a layoff. Some say it was just, Detroit's defense. But, a lot of the Knicks were cold. It was kind of like a prize fight in the beginning, you know what I mean? Just picking their shots, kind of feeling each other out. We're so used to Brunson lighting shit up in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's done since he's been here. I thought one thing Detroit did very well was they played him very well off the pick and roll. Because I went back, because yesterday I was with D and Q watching the game, and I was kind of out of it. There was people there. We was talking and everything. So I went back. I wanted to, be able to speak educated about the game. So I kind of rewatched it and broke some shit down. What I noticed is they was playing Brunson very well. They were studying. We talked about this yesterday too, me and D and Q. They watched a lot of tape on him, man. They said, we're not going to let Brunson, even though he had a really good game, 34-8, whatever, First half, they played him extremely well. Played him well off the pick and rolls. They put a lot of big guards on him. You would see like Cade on him sometimes. Cade is 6'6", length, pause. Shaw Thompson, 6'6", 6'7", length. They was making him uncomfortable. But that first half, OG Anunoby pretty much held it down. I thought he played phenomenal on both sides of the ball. Tobias Harris was equally good, and shout out to D because I was trying to shit on Tobias Harris, and D was like, "Yo, nah, Tobias, man, he was a scary nigga on Detroit, but on the Pistons, he has more confidence." But yeah, Tobias Harris played very well. Cade, like I said, was cold. The
How
Pistons
much
look.
Cade had? How much Cade had last night? I forgot.
I gotta look up 19. But listen, this is the game in a nutshell,
I don't
man.
know.
The third and fourth quarter was the game. Pistons scored 36 points on 22 possessions in the third quarter. That was their third most efficient quarter of the season, right? So they came to ball in the third quarter. I was a little bit nervous. They took an 8-point lead into the fourth. But the fourth quarter, man, that's where the Knicks break it open. Historical 21-0 run. It felt like Detroit turned the ball over like fucking 2,000 times, man. Real sloppy play. I said this in the little pre-production meeting we had. It was experience versus youth last night. The inexperience of Detroit was really on full display. It was evident. OG, like I said, had a really good game. It didn't really show up in the box score. I thought Bridges had a really good game defensively. I know Q might have something to say about that. Campaign, who I was been down on for chucking a lot. Again, I got to give some props to D. D was like, bring in Campaign. He came in, had a lot of clutch shots, gave the Knicks a lot of juice. Shout out to Tibbs, too, because he made adjustments from the first half into the second half, kept McHale on the bench a little bit, gave Campaign a little bit more run. I thought that was really good coaching by Tibbs, who's been, criticized. Also, Cat, very good game, 23-11, some big defensive plays in the fourth quarter. Brunson, some big offensive plays down the stretch. I thought they all played well in the second half, but we're gonna go to Q first, man. Q, you watched the game with me. What was your thoughts on yesterday's game?
I think I was highly, highly upset and very nervous up until the 38-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Like it was a team that we expect to see this happen. But there's still things that need to be fixed. Brunson still had such a quiet game last night. He's scoring 34 points, but he didn't seem like the superstar. And I think one of the biggest changes that I think the Knicks need to do is I think they need to realize exactly like what needs to happen. Like I feel like there's times where there's just no like motivation in their gameplay. Like there's no like, and I think that happens when Hart, because Hart scored those. He had those 3 early fouls, and we saw Tibbs keeping him in the game with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm like, that's a wild decision. That's why we didn't see him in the third quarter, right? Like we didn't see Hart in the third quarter. Like and that's what happens. But if we would have kept him out of there
in the third quarter
earlier, barely.
Hart scored 6 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Real points in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Sorry.
Talking about the third quarter.
Oh, the third quarter. Okay.
Like nobody didn't see anybody. Nobody saw Hart. And we saw the the make believe Twin Towers for a couple of minutes. And
I like the way that looked. Go ahead.
With 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Why you say make believe? Make believe, like what you talking about? Mitch doing the ditch and
I want to see. I want to see it more. I want to see that combination more. But you know what I'm scared of is that.
I thought Mitch played well too. My bad. Yeah, 17 minutes.
He had a great game. A great game.
Cleaned up on the offensive boards a little bit. Nice putback. Yeah, altered shots.
But what I want to see is I want to see that more often. Plus, bring Achua into that effect, because if Achua's not getting,
gonna happen. Achua was buried on the bench this series.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen. We need that energy. And I think
who do you give those minutes to?
Yeah, who do you? That's a great question, Cash. Like, so you want to see more of Achua? Somebody's coming out of there. Who is Achua giving you more minutes in, or whose minutes are you cutting to bring in Achua?
Because he went to a 9-man rotation yesterday, and that's pretty
Yo, when Hart
Detroit
has
Tibbs.
three fouls with 9 minutes into the second quarter, you telling me you don't take Hart out the game when that sub when I think Kate Cunningham was shooting the free throw.
I
you
disagree
put
with it
in
at the
Achua.
time, but it actually wound up working out. I was a little shocked he left Hart in there with 3 fouls
Yeah,
and 10 minutes to go in the
he's
second.
playing a
Right.
But
different type.
Achua and Hart
But
don't necessarily play the same position.
Right,
They don't
yeah.
even do the same things on the court. So you
Right.
take Hart out, you put Achua in. Achua can't
Yeah,
do. Achua can't.
but we're gaining
He
offensive.
can't
We're
guard the
gaining,
perimeter
but we're gaining
like
offensive.
that.
And to be honest, Achua can get just as much rebounds. Because I
It's
think
not
Mitch,
about the boys. It's
but
everything else that Hart is doing. Hart is doing a lot of other stuff. Like everybody.
he's just running around and throwing his hand up. But when you have 3 fouls with
That's
9
all you
minutes
think
left
Hart's
in the
doing?
second quarter, what are you gonna do?
Is that
Just
really all you think Hart's doing, Q?
when you have
Because
no. But when you have 3
Oh
fouls,
shit, we
when you
got
have
a little
3 fouls,
debate.
when you have 3 fouls with 9 minutes left
I
in the
love it.
second quarter, you think Hart is going all out? You think he's playing at 100?
No, he's playing
He's
playing a conservative, yeah, because of the
Come
3
on,
fouls,
let's keep
absolutely. But
Hart becomes to play conservative.
I don't know about
but
putting
it's
pressures in for
all
Hart. I
right,
don't know
so-
about that.
So you got to look at how teams got to scout Hart. Let's look at what Hart really does. Hart is not necessarily the guys looking to score at any moment, right? Hart is doing everything else. He's grabbing boards. He's making assists. He's boxing out. He's creating screens. He's somebody that every team, even during the regular season and especially during the playoffs, you have to scout for him correctly. Why? Because in any given moment, if they start to go to him and he starts to say, "Fuck it, I'm going to the rim," which is what he was doing, which is giving Knicks key buckets. I don't give a fuck if it's 40 points or 10. If he gives you 10, if he gives you 6 points or 4 points in any stretch of a game, it could be dangerous to the team that's trying to keep him from doing. They don't know how to guard. You don't know how to necessarily stop Hart. To me, Josh Hart is J.R. Smith 2.0. He's a different version of that. He's that type of lifeblood to the Knicks, and every team has to account for him. So when you say, "Well, I want to bring in Achua and I want to pull Hart out," Achua is not a floor general. Clearly, Hart in every lineup that you put him in, whether it be off the bench, whether it be a starting position, whatever, second unit, whatever, he's a floor general. He actually plays quietly. He quietly plays the Robin to Brunson's Batman. Those two are the most in sync when it comes down to a lot of shit. Because Jalen Brunson knows how to speak to Hart, and Hart knows how to say, "Okay, this is what we got to do." There have been several times, including yesterday's game, where you watch Jalen Brunson will check Hart and say, yo, and Hart will start doing something different. Like he'll start, okay, now he's grabbing an extra board, or he's making an extra outlet pass, or he's putting himself in positions to make the team think. And then sometimes if you watch in game, JB will tell him, "Yo, shoot the ball, man, score." And then what does he do? He goes and he scores. So he's not. Achua is not that. Achua is a rebounder. Achua is somebody that can score, right? Achua can do all these things, but that's all situational. We were just having this conversation with my boy Bronson, you know what I'm saying, about how he places his bets. He places his bets based off of what should be done versus how a game in playoffs is situational, right? So, yeah, everybody should do everything you just bet on, but these are situational games, which means at any given moment, somebody's going to have to step into their situation. This is who Josh Hart is, and this is something that Tibbs tried to take minutes away from Josh Hart to supplement them with. Achua, we're looking at a losing basketball game.
Yeah, but Josh Hart, but let's keep it a buck. Josh Hart played 44 minutes. Like, how much of an impact are you going to be in this playoffs, man? Because what, we're going to get out of this series,
Josh Hart
and now we got to play
48, though. He's proven it since last year.
Yeah, he'll prove it, and you know what happens?
Right now.
He breaks down, and always in the second series, bro. You can see the fatigue.
Wait. Let me just interject one thing real quick. One thing that Detroit did, they thought was going to be a good move, which wound up firing on them, was they had. If you guys noticed, they had Duran on Hart for a while. You know what I mean? The lack of respect for his shooting. You know what I'm saying? We know Hart has had problems shooting from the three. So Duran, a big, right, was able to play off him a little bit. Didn't respect the three, but in turn, that let Cat get loose a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you had a mismatch, you know what I'm saying? So you had to play a saw on Cat a little bit, and you seen him going to the hoop, barreling to the hoop. So I think that was big. I think Bickerstaff dropped the ball on that play a little bit, but yeah, just I didn't want to forget that. Who's out of here?
Let me say one thing to like Jason Hart.
Yeah.
Regarding Hart, like, so Hart.
What happened here? Okay.
Hart.
Yeah.
If Hart looks to shoot, the Knicks win easy. The Knicks can win the title and this is maybe I'm
Yeah,
going
but
out
he
the
don't
window
do
with
that,
this.
D. That's not what he does. That's not his game.
I know that's not what he does, but he's like when he goes to the hole, it's so effortless. Like
Okay, you good?
it's so effortless. So like if he looked to score more and go past his man more, and because he can take anybody who's guarding him to the hole. Now he had 13 yesterday. He shot 6 for 10. He played 29 minutes, right? If he plays 40 minutes and he looks to score, the Knicks win the championship this year. I know that's not who he is, but this is what I was saying yesterday. We got a
He's
lot of
more of a
players
Swiss
that are
Army knife type of guy. I don't know if you're gonna get like every night you could pencil him in for like, straight buckets. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get it. He's good in the open court. He's like Obi Toppin in the open court. You know what I'm saying? He excels in the open court, finishing. I don't know if you're gonna get like straight. You can't pencil him in for 20, 22 a night. I don't. You know what I
we
mean?
need to though. That's what I'm saying. Like we need
I
if
just know
we
if that's the
can
game
pencil
though.
him in for that,
Yeah.
then they win the title this year.
He figures out where
Right. What the game needs.
right, what the game needs. That's his biggest quality, is that he recognizes what is necessary at the time. If scoring is the answer that particular night, somebody else is cold, or he sees an opportunity as far as a mismatch who's defending against him, then he'll put the ball in the hole. He can. A lot of his points, if you notice, come from downhill plays, off of a fast break or steal. He comes, flying through the middle, and he'll get his points that way.
Bobble it and lay it up.
Right. But overall, I don't think you want to put the pressure on his game to make him an offensive weapon, because then you're taking shots away from players who are designed specifically for that. We want to keep the ball in those players' hands, like Cat, like Brunson, like OG now. Of course, Bridges. Those guys are scorers. They're like, you can draw plays for them. I don't think you draw plays for Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart draws up plays for Josh Hart.
Right. He's got that Dennis Rodman, Swiss Army knife. Like you said, some nights he's gonna score, some nights he's gonna grab 12 boards, some nights he's gonna be the defensive. Like you said, what the game needs. But I don't disagree totally with the Rod. Give your take on the game, man, because I know we kind of got sidetracked.
I'm sorry. No, we didn't get sidetracked. I mean, everybody. Again, as somebody who's going through the Nick woes like everybody else has, like everybody on this panel, at the end of the day, is a Knicks fan, right? So we go through progressions of Knicks just not doing what the Knicks got to do, but sometimes you got to live in the moment, right? And in the moment, what you're getting out of your team is what you're getting out of your team. Me personally, I'm not. I'll say it again. Knicks in 4. Cade Cunningham, they played a great half. There's a lot of things that happened in yesterday's game that is not going to be consistent from Detroit's end. So as we sit here and we pick apart why we were scared of the Knicks doing X, Y, and Z, let's just look at how the Pistons played. We got 25 points, right? The leading scorer of yesterday's game, their leading scorer was Tobias Harris. That's not going to happen on a consistent basis, not from this team. That's not what Tobias Harris has been throughout the season, and that's not how he's going to be throughout the playoffs. Cade Cunningham.
So Rob, but Rob, like I
want to hear D on this too, because D was.
Word. Like, but Rob, as you say this, I also want to hear your take on who you think actually won. Like, why was the reason that the Knicks won last night? Because
the fourth quarter,
the Knicks won last night.
The Knicks.
What's the reason?
The Knicks won last night because OG Anunoby once again had a game that I didn't even think he was going to have yesterday. I thought with the return of Cat, with the shortening of the bench, I thought it was going to be a Brunson and Cat game. I thought that's typically what you think you're going to see, and then OG Anunoby is supposed to be the third option. But in this particular case, OG Anunoby was their leading. Outside of Brunson, who gave you 34, which is what he's typically going to do. You got 23 out of Towns and Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? So the reason the Knicks won yesterday is because Anunoby is continuing to play. As Cash said earlier, he's assumed the third, 1, 2, I'm 3. You know what I'm saying? It's not Hart. It's not Bridges. It's not anybody else on this team. I'm the third option. And not only am I the third option, if you keep feeding me the rock or you keep putting me in position, I'd like to be the number 2 option. Like he's saying, Anunoby's showing you that he wants to be more than just a number or a 3. Like I want to be.
What about his defense though? Like
it was fantastic. I think to be honest,
he had 4 steals and 2 blocks. I don't think we gave him enough credit, which is crazy enough on the defensive side of the ball yesterday. You know what I'm saying? They were putting OG
5 steals.
on Cade at times. They were
5
putting
steals.
they were putting OG on Cade sometimes. Then they were putting Bridges. Wingstop was open for business last night. But go ahead.
And like Q said, defensively, OG Anunoby's game is just getting better. Like he's becoming a better player over the last 2 seasons. That's a fact. So I think OG is the reason, or one of the main reasons why the Knicks win yesterday. You know, one of the main reasons. Everything else is just stuff that I think is going to happen. Like the fear of Detroit is surface level only. And when I say surface level only, like I said, there's certain things that's not sustainable. On that being, Tobias Harris is not going to do that every night.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. And Cade Cunningham is learning who he's supposed to be in this situation.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I'm not going to be so critical on my Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Because I get it. Like every year, it's not what we are doing; it's what we can do better. And I get that until we win a chip. But the Knicks in 4. This is not going past.
Knicks in 4.
Right.
Q, real quick.
4 games.
Real quick. I agree. I'm gonna go Knicks in 4. I think I said Knicks in 6 before, but I think the inexperience is a big problem. And Q, just to answer elaborate on what Rob was saying. Also, I think really, if you want to look at the game and point to a certain stat that goes, this is the reason for the Knicks win, I'm going to say turnovers, man. 21-11 and points converted off of turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Because they were pretty much even on everything. They outdid us 46-38 in 3-point percentage. They outdid us in field goal percentage.
But that all happened also in like the fourth quarter. A lot of those.
Yeah, but that's money time. Doesn't matter what, you know what I'm saying?
No, of course it doesn't matter the time. But I think the biggest key factor, I'll keep it a buck, man, campaign. Like if we,
That's
I
it.
was just about to say that.
Campaign doesn't make those 8 points and that less than a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We probably lose last night.
He's
the
gift.
Let me give D his flowers. Let me give D his flowers because I was saying last night, yo, Cam be coming and Cam do be coming in Chuck. Unless he had a great game last night and he's fearless, which D alluded to. But let's be honest, sometimes he comes in and takes what they call ill-advised shots, right? D, I'm gonna give you your flowers because you called it last night. Talk a little bit about that.
Yo, a lot of those shots he took last night were ill-advised. Like, like that last 3 he hit, it was huge, but it was like, oh no, what is he doing? Yeah,
Exactly.
like you know what I'm saying? Like
that type of shit. Yeah.
It was that type of shit. But what I like about the guy is he's fearless, bro. He doesn't care. If I lose, if I miss, blame me. But I'm going for mine. You feel me? Like, and that's what, like McBride. McBride hit big shots during the year, but he was out there shook last night. It's he was listening.
0
he
points.
was listening to Mobb Deep the whole way
man.
to the Garden, man. He was listening to Mobb Deep all the way to the Garden. He was shook out there. He looked scared.
That's not going to continue.
Why you gonna do my nigga like that? That's
I
not
don't
good
think
shit.
that's
This is what I saw, bro. Every time he got the ball, it was like a hot potato in his hand. He wanted it out of his hand. He played like I played in high school.
Can I say something real quick, D?
Pass. Like,
Can I
it
say
was
something,
horrible,
though?
man.
That's because I believe that the Pistons scouted for McBride. They watched what McBride did last year in the series, right? And not for nothing, every time McBride got the ball in his hands, they was on his ass. You know whose ass they wasn't on? Pause. They wasn't on Campaign. Like nobody's. You know, our Campaign is fearless, but guess what? Nobody's really scared of Campaign. And then it's those moments where he'll kill you. And that's exactly what he did. And that's good because now Tibbs can say, I can give him these minutes, and I could trust that the other team is probably not accounting. Now all I got to do is say, yo, make the shot. If you're going to take it, make it. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there taking an ill-advised shot and clank off the backboard. You're giving the other team an opportunity to score a bucket. And last night, to your point, D, he did all those things. He was definitely, you know, I said Anunoby, but if I really want to shrink it down, and I say Anunoby's the reason why I won. If I really want to put it under a microscope, Campaign probably put the Knicks over the top. You know, at the end of the day, for that game because he was unaccounted for.
Somebody else say something else,
shots.
or I could say, no, that's the reason. How many different fucking reasons are you gonna say, bro? You said.
Remember, when you came, when we started, I'll take a flight. Like, please understand. I'll take the flight.
Send the Addy. Yo, send the Addy right now. Send the Addy right now.
I'll drop the Addy.
No.
How many?
I have the address, and guess what? I also have the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can
What we doing this on 45th and Colden? What we gonna do it on 45th and Colden?
Yeah, all right.
It's only right, right?
Yeah, let's do this shit right by the globe. Fuck that, man. Let's do this shit right by the globe.
I'm gonna go to Tyler, Texas. I'm gonna stop at the gas station down the block from his crib to get a Red Bull and a bag of ice for his eye. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just gonna wait for him in his courtyard. You know,
better
because
bring
he
some
doesn't have an
support with
elevator.
you. You better bring some support with you. You know
I'm
what
not
I'm
gonna bring
saying?
any support with me. I'm gonna bring an overnight bag because I'm gonna be the
Y'all
one,
niggas
making you
is
soup
wild.
the next day. Like, yo,
Yeah.
But Jay, while you up there, talk a little bit about Cat, man. I think Cat's performance was underrated as well. I think he had some big defensive stops in the fourth quarter. I think he was kind of unsung last night. Everyone talks about OG, Brunson's quiet 34. But I think Cat down the stretch, the label on Cat's been like soft. You know what I mean?
I didn't see that last night.
I didn't see that last night either. Talk a little bit about that.
Last night, he did exactly what we brought him here to do.
Mm-hmm.
To be the complimentary piece to Brunson, to get boards, which he the whole season he averaged a double-double. So I mean, we know that he's going to clean the boards. But before I even get deep into that, like I know that we're all saying the Knicks in 4, and I'm the guy in the club that you're drinking and lights are low and you with a shorty and everything like that, and then 4 o'clock lights come up and she's a fucking monster, right?
She look like Missy.
Yeah. I'm right now, I'm that guy because I'm not gonna say that this is exactly what I want until game 4 or game 5, whenever this shit is over. Detroit played like what they were supposed to play like a team that hasn't been there for a long time. That ain't gonna fucking last. We're getting excited about what we saw, which is what we should have seen. This is like we have those pieces. Those guys are supposed to do that. Campaign was the force multiplier that gave us an additional, I believe, 11 or 14 points, something like that. I think he had 14, right? He was the force multiplier. Everybody else should have did that. Cat's supposed to give you 23 to 25 points a game. OG's supposed to give you 20 to 22 points a game. Cap, he averages 30 in the playoffs. So those things were supposed to happen. I'm not excited until I think it's good. I said originally it was going to be 5 games. I still believe in that. I feel that Detroit will find a way.
That too, but
we'll find a way to get one, whether it's on their home floor or whether they, I hope it's not anything in New York because then at that point now we're playing without home field advantage, without home court advantage again. If they win tomorrow, we already lost home court advantage, and that could be a absolute momentum buster for a team like
did Brunson look? Listen, I understand. Like I pointed out earlier before, putting big bodies on him, watching a lot of film on him off the pick and roll. But did he look? He looked a little off. Like he did. He definitely looked gimpy. I think that's something to take a look at. I think Detroit's definitely going to clean up the turnovers. They're going to make some adjustments. I wouldn't be so confident. The Knicks have to play better. They got to come out the gate to me swinging a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
it depend on one guy for a whole, first half in there. It has to be, a group effort. And I think, OG, shout out to OG in Ra's defense. He called it perfectly because he carried the Knicks throughout the whole real first half.
Yeah, for sure.
That was definitely, the
first half was him.
That was the drink, the straw that stirred the drink in the first half. So I agree, but we can't, that can't happen. There has to be more. And some of it could be just the layoff, like you said earlier, Cash. It could be the layoff. It absolutely could. It could be that the lights just got really, really bright, really, really quick too.
Brunson, though, I don't know. He built for that.
Not necessarily for Brunson, but
sometimes
as a collective, the individuals don't necessarily just the overall cohesiveness in that moment. We know what's at stake now. It's a little bit different. It's not one of those 82 anymore.
They was giving them different looks too.
Exactly.
And they wasn't going. Did you know that they wasn't going for those little pump fakes and the turnaround foot? They wasn't going for that.
Very disciplined.
Yeah, they wasn't jumping on. Because usually that's how we get you off your ground. And he goes with the up and under and all that shit. They wasn't going for that last game. But I think he's still at 34. You know what I mean? Like.
But I think that's the game changer.
Though. It
he's not gonna look like that every game.
Yeah,
but that's a game changer because I think the Knicks is gonna look totally different in game 2.
Well,
because we also have to understand like this entire team has been shaken up. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've been playing CeeLo and you know what I mean? We've been hitting 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3s and snake eyes and now like this is the first time. Can you guys remember we was what 94 maybe when we was this healthy with all of our starters there?
Yeah, because we definitely wasn't that last year.
Yo, with no trades, like, and we just gotta, you know what I mean? Like Cat just came in, and now, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of moving parts that have to go into a team. Like the Celtics are not that good just because they're that good. You don't just surround talent around talent. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like it's a bunch of people who've been playing around with each other for years. Pause.
I know,
You
I
know
know,
what I
I
mean?
know, that, I know,
But
I know that
but
I know I may be coming across as like the Knicks glazer because I'm like not really being overcritical on them
Mm-hmm.
right now because I'm just like the Knicks in 4 and all of that shit. But if I am like based off of everything that y'all are saying, there are things that the Knicks can do to ensure that it's a sweep. And there's actually 2 players that the Knicks need to key in on. All right, and as far as what I've seen that these 2 players on Detroit have been consistent and they're continuing to do so. You got to put a body on Tim Hardaway Jr. Somebody has to they have to be accountable for him.
That's a good
And
point.
Malik Beasley.
Yeah, yes.
Those two
Good point.
players around K, like, all right, the path for Detroit.
It's a
The
great
path for
point, actually.
Detroit to get to, let's just say, to take one or even to
Mm-hmm.
make it a series is not so much Cade Cunningham, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Tim Hardaway Jr. who's been in this position before. He's been on
Mhm.
Dallas. He's been in New York. He's a weathered good player, and he's an underdog, so to speak. Nobody
Yeah.
really
And he can shoot the
talks
three.
about
High
and he can
level
shoot
role
the three.
player. Yeah.
High level role player. And Malik Beasley is somebody else who's literally he's balling. Like Malik Beasley's been
Yeah,
balling for
that's a
like the
good
last
point.
month.
I didn't think about
You
that.
know what I'm
Good point.
saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm the Knicks, right, to ensure that it's a sweep, you defensively, you got to figure out a way to slow down Malik Beasley and keep an eye on Tim Hardaway Jr. because those 2 guys will continue to assassinate you and slow bleed you like a splinter, you know what I'm saying, or like a paper cut. They'll bleed you guys slowly. Next thing you know, you got to look at their numbers from yesterday. If you look at their numbers from yesterday, Malik Beasley gave you 20 and 4. Hardaway gave you 19 and 2, and a couple of assists.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
big.
think
He
you
was the
can
only
live
one
with
off the
that.
bench that did anything, to be totally honest with you.
I think you can live with that as long as because here's the thing. What is their team? What is that? It's been that team's identity all year. Cade Cunningham running wild, right? As a facilitator as well as a scorer. I think you can live, maybe limited. I agree with what you're saying, Rod.
I'm not saying you can live with it. You can't live because what if one of them breaks it open? What you call it? Malik Beasley gave him 20 yesterday.
Yeah.
I agree.
Everybody on this panel says it wasn't until the 4th quarter due to campaign out of all the names, right? That the Knicks broke away and won that game. Let's say campaign is his normal self, right? Deuce didn't give you nothing. Now you take a look at those other 2 players. Are we still having the same conversation?
Yes, and the reason why is I want to put a thumbtack there. I'm not disagreeing with you again. I want to put a thumbtack there because guess what? I get the campaign spark, but what broke that game open was a 21-0 run, and that was defensively fueled. That was not campaign. That was a defensively fueled 21-0 run.
Yeah.
The largest run since 95 or 96, I think it was. Right?
Yeah.
That's a crazy run. That's what spearheaded that turnaround. So I get what you're saying and again, I'm not taking anything away from the fact that we have to key in on Beasley, who I believe is an absolute baller and he's just getting better, or Tim Hardaway Jr., who we know what he can do. We had him here in New York. We got we gave him away to Dallas, and we know that he can shoot the 3 ball and he can absolutely get hot. So yes, we have to pay attention to them, but we have to make sure that we keep Cade Cunningham. We keep a lid on that motherfucker because if he gets going, he opens up even more opportunities for Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. When he's bottled up like that, he can't facilitate and he's not scoring. We'll take that all day. Keep that guy bottled up, and then everybody else, whatever. It's very similar. I don't want to use Mike, in vain, but it's very similar to how people tried to go with Mike.
So I agree with
him the
on
best,
that.
and
What the
everybody else.
Timberwolves did with Luka last night, they
So-
let him get shit off. They shut everybody else down. Yep.
I agree with that. So you say keep Cade Cunningham bottled up. Cade Cunningham still gave y'all 21 and 12 yesterday. He did 21 and 12 assists, right? And you still got 19 out of Carter.
But he shot 8 for 21 though. He had a bad.
He looked.
He got 21 points on 21 attempts. That's bad.
He looked very frustrated last night.
Yeah, he looked like a rookie. He looked like
he looked like a rookie.
He
1 for 4 from 3. Yeah, he didn't have such a great game. But he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna play that every game.
That way.
Yeah,
no, he won't stay that way.
That was
but it's our job to make sure that we keep it as complicated as possible for him and throw looks at him that he hasn't seen during the regular season. Things change in the playoffs.
I'll be more comfortable, right? I'll be more comfortable with them shutting down the things that work around him and let him go ham. I think you still get the same outcome. In other words, let's just say he gives you 35, 40. If he's the one who's doing 35 or 40, and you make sure you keep a Shaw Thompson, Jalen Duren, you keep
Mhm.
Tim Hardaway Jr. and Beasley. If you keep all of them quiet, then let the man run ham. These are strategies. These are similar strategies that we've seen used against people like the Golden State Warriors, right? It's like, well, we can't stop Steph, or trying to stop Steph is only letting everybody else get busy. You know what? Let Steph
the
go
only
crazy
reason I
and
disagree
shut
is
everybody
because
else down, and you beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him be. I'm not saying let him be what he be. I'm not disagreeing with you, Jay, or anybody else on the panel for that matter. I'm saying that you got to keep an eye on his ancillary, his weapons. His weapons is getting warm. They're getting comfortable. You got 21. You got 21 out of Cade Cunningham. You got 19 out of Beasley. You got 19 out of Hardaway. You got 20 out of Beasley, and not for nothing. Again, the person who I think is really going to fail him. You got 25 out of freaking Tobias Harris,
Mr. Scary himself.
Yeah. Who did nothing against the Knicks last year with the Sixers?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So as far as
That ain't
Tobias
gonna,
Harris,
that's not gonna laugh. That's not sustainable. That's not
I
sustainable.
don't know,
production
but
for him.
like I think he has something to prove this year, man. Like because he looked atrocious in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Terrible.
Yeah, so like he came out, he had that big first half. He only scored 7 in the second half. I don't know, man. Yeah, you got to definitely watch out for him because he's got something to prove. Like Rob was saying, Hardaway, man. Hardaway only averaged 11 in the regular season. He had 19 last night. So you got to watch those guys, man. The Beasleys, the Hardaways. You can't let these guys get off, man. If you let these guys get off, it doesn't matter what Cunningham does. It's going to be hard for us to win.
Yeah, but cut the head off the snake. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you like because Ross said shut him down and let the other guys get off. I could look at it both ways, or just fucking demoralize the head of the snake, right? And then everyone else would be kind of demoralized. It depends. So far, it's working, but I agree with both strategies. You know what I mean?
Because he's a young player and this is his first playoffs,
Yeah.
I think it's easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
I think, he hasn't been in these moments yet. He hasn't had the opportunity to see the lights as bright as they are in the playoffs, especially in Madison Square Garden. Like, shit gets a little bit hectic over there. I'm from, Queens, New York. I understand. I've been in the Garden during playoff games.
We understand it.
I've been there with you in playoff game moments, right?
Yo, did you see them run down on Beasley yesterday outside? Try to run down on him and shit. They was barking on him. The nigga dropped his hat. Shit was crazy. He's coming out of the where the players' entrance is? Like it's like kind of in between. You know, office. What is that? That's 7th, right? No, that's
they better
that's
relax
37.
Before they get DeRozan. Somebody end up getting DeRozan out this motherfucker.
See, but I also think there's two different players, right? We're worried about Malik Beasley and we're worried about Tim Hardaway. So the only way we win this game, we win this series, defending the three. Tim Hardaway is not driving to the paint. All right? And if he does, he's just doing it to get fouled because he's not going to make that layup. Guarantee you that. Malik Beasley is going to he's going to be in the paint, right? Like how many 3-second off, how many violations did they get last night in the fourth quarter? Like they look uncoordinated.
They shot better than us from 3 too. They was at 46%.
Yo, we are not, but we shot like I think like 44.
38%. 38%.
38. But we take less threes. We shot like I think 6 less threes. We're not a 3-point shooting team no more. What was the points in the paint? I think we had 62 to their 48. If I'm not mistaken.
Let me see points in the paint. I gotta look that up.
Points
in the paint 62 to 46. Yeah, in our favor. Yep.
And this is the team that the Knicks need to. Yo, if you coming down here, boy, it's gonna be some problems. Like come down to my block.
You need those threes though too.
But you need
he had 6 threes yesterday. Did the Malik Beasley have 6 threes or something like that?
What did Beasley have? I'll tell you right now.
No, he didn't have 6. He must have made damn near all of them probably.
Beasley, let me see.
But what I'm saying is we need to
6 for 12, yeah. Yep, 6 for 12.
And he had 6 threes. He had 6 threes yesterday.
Yeah, but if we're gonna and that's what I'm saying.
50%, yep.
Shoot those threes, man. I don't care about those. Yo, what we're gonna do? Because if I'm beating you in the paint, that means I'm gonna make an easy 2-pointer. We outscored them almost 20 points in the paint. If you're gonna make 2 or 3, 4 more 3-pointers than me, what's that? An extra 4 points? Man, I'm gonna kill you on the boards. I'm gonna kill you in the paint, bro. See me where I'm at. If you're a tough team, see me in the paint. That's what it needs to be. If this is what they were supposed to be, right? The Detroit Pistons, everybody's so scared of them. Yo, you such a scary team. You're gonna win. You're gonna win off of shooting. Come on, bro.
I don't think they got enough firepower to fuck with us. I'll be
come
totally
on,
honest.
bro. Let's keep it a buck, man. Like, yo,
I thought,
yo, everybody. It's just a bunch of young dudes running around trying to figure it out. And the Pistons is gonna be a really good team very soon. But right now, they don't have it, and I'm not really worried about them at all. And it's a very easy team to stop. Like a brand new coach can figure out what to do to stop the Pistons. We're a different team because you got to figure out multiple people who have multiple things that they can have in their bag, right? Like really, like if you really wanted to sit down and dwell on it, we're the most diverse team in the whole NBA. If you really want to get down to the nitty gritty,
maybe it's me. I'm a little fucked up. Maybe
everybody need to get out of here. Like I think we gonna sweep this niggas. Like if we lose one game, it's game 3. And get out of here, and then let's play a real team like the Celtics, and that's when we get all down to the real statistics and talking about like all the hate and the vigorousness. But that's what we about, man.
I thought like I never was really worried too much like offensive firepower from Detroit. I thought it was Cade and maybe a Saw and a bunch of just like we said high glorified. I shouldn't say high glorified, like high level role players, like Ross said earlier. I thought the physicality with Isaiah Stewart, who was basically really didn't do shit, Duran, Assault Thompson. I thought the physicality might be an issue for the Knicks, but if if Mitch, he's in limited minutes, 17 minutes, I think he had about 5 or 6 offensive rebounds, a block, some nice putbacks. Cat played tough. OG and Mikal hard nosed. I think if they continue to play defense like that, and the offense is gonna get more cohesive at some point. You know what I'm saying? I think I might be inclined to agree with Rod and say Knicks in 4, but just out of pride, maybe Detroit gets one. I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be surprised if Knicks sweep this shit.
Not going to happen in New York. If Detroit gets one, it's going to be in Detroit. It's not going to be in New York. I just don't see them having it.
I can't see it going past 4.
They came out. They came out and they punched the Knicks in the face, and it looked competitive for the first. It looked competitive through the fourth quarter as well. Like I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a competitive game, but just through
the experience,
just the way the Knicks, the experience and the way the Knicks play. Like the Knicks Tom Thibodeau has figured out a way. And this is his last year anyway, so I'm gonna give him his flowers now anyway. But he knows how to get the most out of this current roster. Like he knows how to get the minutes, he knows how to get the production. And it's more or less the same group, with the exception of 1 or 2 players that it was last year. Even if they are new to the scenario, they know like if I give you the minutes, they're gonna be high minutes, and you got to produce in those minutes. You know what I'm saying? Point blank. Period.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I say Detroit's gonna win game 2
in New York.
Now, ask me why I say that. Why do you say that?
Why do you say that, Deron?
Why do you say that, son?
This is why I say it. Because I'm looking at the Knicks stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Brunson had an ugly game. Still had 34. Ugly, though. Like the ugliest 34 you could ever see, right? Now, he scored 34. The other Knicks, Towns, 10 for 14. He shot 71%. Robinson, 100%. Campaign, 70% shooting. Is that going to happen every game? No. And to the fourth quarter, we was looking
not for Campaign.
You can't count Mitchell though, because Mitchell's cleaning up under the basket. He's always going to shoot 98 to 100%.
Yeah, he's always going to give you that. He's always going to give you that. But what I'm saying is, we shot really well yesterday, and it was still like until the fourth quarter when Detroit threw the game away. Because they're a young team.
The game away.
He was in trouble.
Tell them how you really feel. Tell us how you
they threw the game away, bro. They threw the game away.
The Knicks didn't win yesterday. Detroit lost.
Yeah, that's how. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know about that.
Detroit was up by 8 points.
Yeah, but 8. Since when is 8 like an insurmountable lead in today's NBA? Like,
all right. How much did
that's easy work. 8 points.
At 15,
and it was a 20-point turnaround after that.
Tell us how you really feel, D. Go ahead,
they threw the game away, bro.
Come on,
dribbling off their knees. Just a lot of
But that had to, but
And
those
with some
actions,
mistakes.
But
those
you
actions,
don't credit the defense at all for
I was
that.
gonna say that
Yeah.
comes from somewhere. Like there's a reaction. That's a reaction to great defense. Dribbling the
Yeah.
basketball up your knee. These motherfuckers been playing basketball their whole life. Dribbling the basketball up their knee came from what? Somebody forced that to happen. Somebody's pressure created that ass wrenching tightness to
Pause.
make them fuck around. Pause. No, that's not actually. I got the shirt on. That way I don't have to say it.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, but that's what it created. Like that is created. D. Like you
But
know, like that's not
we
just
also act like okay, the Knicks may not shoot that way again, but Detroit. How do we know Detroit? How do we know the Knicks are not gonna shoot? Knicks didn't shoot that great. Like our main guy had like a
We shot
not
pretty
that
good, bro.
that wasn't.
The Knicks are gonna
Everybody
get
shot.
better.
He didn't have a Brunson type of game, man. He might have shot good
Listen,
on paper.
I'm looking at
I don't
their
give a fuck
stats,
what nobody
bro.
says.
Campaign
I got him up too.
71%. Campaign 71%. Mitch Robinson 100%. Shamet 50%.
Shamit, yeah.
Shamet. Brunson 44. Brunson and Bridges are the only two that were under and Anobi were 44. But everyone else is in the 70s, 60s. Hart 60%. Like that's pretty good shooting, bro. Like, is that going to happen in game 2? I don't know.
Yeah, why
Because-
not? I think it might even get better, especially
It
in
is
the
gonna get
garden.
better.
I agree
We'll
with
see.
that because,
We'll see.
because what we're not putting into the factor is the points and the paint. A lot of them shits was layups, man. That's not really shooting. A layup in the NBA should be a given.
You're also going to have McBride play a better game. Don't forget that. You know what I'm saying?
McBride's not gonna have another game where he has 0. This
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one tour, like
Yeah,
McBride's
15
gonna
points.
take that off.
Deuce is going to get
down.
loose at some point. Yeah.
Yo, like,
I hope
like,
so. I hope so.
no, listen,
But Bridges, can I address Bridges? Because
Carl's gonna have a 30-point game.
Bridges,
let's talk
what
about
did
Bridges.
have? Bridges had 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, yeah, he's a big defensive guy. He had 8 points. Every time he gets the ball, he looks uneasy to me, man. Like, he doesn't have a go-to move.
Q
It's
wants to hug you right now.
Like, what is the deal with that guy? Like, how are these players like making this much money and you looking so uneasy out there on the court, bro? Like,
Who want to take this?
Q.
Q wants to add on. Go ahead. Q, we on air? Q, you hear us?
Nah, he took his headset off.
What's
gonna
going
get
on?
it. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Jay,
yeah.
what do you think about Mikal Bridges? What he said about Mikal Bridges?
Mikal Bridges, listen, Mikal Bridges is gonna be fine. I don't like. I think we kill him all the time for. He's you know what? Check this out. He's a better offensive version of what Josh Hart is. And when I say that, I don't mean as far as like the rebounding and all the other things. I mean he just kind of gets in where he fits in. He kind of just fills the gaps. Do we want the guy to have 20 points every game? Absolutely. Is he going to give us that? He'll give us between the 15 to 18 points, every game. Last game was not one of his better performances. He only had 8 points. I don't think you'll see that again. I think game 2 he'll have a much better game, and this guy can totally fill it up. He has a mid range and a fadeaway that are very that like those two assets in his game are his biggest talent. I think that short 12-foot mid range game. And it's dangerous. I don't need the guy shooting threes unless he's absolutely wide open and sure he's going to make it. I don't need that from his game. I need him playing defense. Got long arms. He's annoying. He can be an annoying defender. Stay within that lane. I don't think that we need to be overly concerned about a bad game from Mikal Bridges. I don't think Mikal Bridges is a bad player. I think he's a great component with the Knicks. I think he's right where he needs to be. I think you'll see a lot better in game 2.
No doubt. Let's wrap the Knicks up. Well said. Let's get into real quick because we're gonna take off. I want to just get these thoughts in real quick. Lakers, Minnesota. Anyone want to set it off on that? Lakers get their doors blown the fuck off.
Minnesota in 6.
Minnesota in 6. You want to talk? What you thought about that game yesterday?
I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, buddy.
I enjoyed the game. I think, realistically speaking, I think Minnesota looked really, really, really good. They really looked very relaxed. I knew that. I thought Ant-Man really was going to have a wilder game. I know he had the cramping and he was out for a couple of plays or what have you.
Yeah, he had a quiet, close to a triple-double.
Yeah, but I think realistically speaking, I like the way Randall looked. I like the way DiVincenzo looked. They all kind of fit their particular roles. Nas Reed is the answer there. He was a fucking problem yesterday, and
100%.
they did not have an answer for him. They did
Yep.
not understand what he was able to bring yesterday.
100%.
He was on fire. And will he stay that hot? I don't know. He's been good all year.
Yeah.
He's been good all year. He's not a bum at all. He's played good basketball all year. But and Jaden McDaniels is another one that was scorching yesterday. He was on fire also. So if they continue to play like that, I really don't see the Lakers being able to contain them. I don't think they're a good defensive team. The Lakers really don't play good defense.
No.
Luka is a liability in the playoffs on defense, although he can absolutely pour in points. I think and then LeBron didn't even really look right. And that's not to take a shot at LeBron. He didn't look right. I've seen LeBron look right. I know that he absolutely gets busy, and I know he's 40, so I can't really be so critical of a 40-year-old guy that still can play basketball at such a high level, but he didn't look right last night. I didn't see the same Austin Reeves that I saw throughout the year. I saw he was kind of quiet and kept in a handbag for the majority of the game. He still ended up putting up, I believe, 16 or 18 points. Rory Hashimura, I think they missed an opportunity there because he started off hot. He had like 9 in the first or second half, and then they went away from the guy. Like you got to, I think at that point, start to feed the guy, down low and let him do his thing. But overall, like I said, Minnesota in 6. I just don't think the Lakers have the defense or the firepower other than Luka and LeBron to compete with that group.
Let me jump in. I'll tell you what, man. I was high on the Lakers this year. Some people say they're fool's gold. I don't think so. I think they are bad defensively, especially on ball. They look good in spots. I think that was covered up a little bit. Everyone's like, "Oh, Luka and LeBron don't look that bad on ball and defense." Yeah, that Luka's a turnstile. We've been knowing this shit. I thought that even though I was high on the Lakers when they got the Timberwolves, I thought that was a bad draw. But the story of last night, in a nutshell, was like you said, Jaden Daniels. He played great on both sides of the ball. What I love about him, he's big, he's physical. He can guard Luka. He could guard LeBron a little bit in situational shit. Like you also said, Jay, the bench play, Nas Reed, the Wolves, they look more physical. They're bigger. Lakers lack bigs. Last night the Wolves were hot. I think it was they were hit 21 threes or some shit from 3-point range. I think that's like a playoff record for them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking at the stats. They outscored LA by 13 points in the paint and 19 points on fast breaks. So that tells me they're younger. They're more physical. If they beat you in all facets of the game, from the 3-point line, from in the paint, and on the fast break, you have a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? I also think defensively, they kind of like what we talked about in the previous segment. They kind of let Luka do his thing. Luka had 37 or some shit, whatever the fuck it was, and then they kind of let everyone else. Let's let Luka get his shit off and let's kind of stop everyone else. LeBron was pedestrian. I don't know if the Balco delivery came, but allegedly, I retract
The cream in the clear.
The cream in the clear might have not. They must be lost with Rod's
headset and his microphone.
Allegedly. But I think that was a really bad matchup. I think Minnesota does have some flaws. I was intrigued to kind of see Luka and kind of Anthony Edwards, battle for maybe like the potential, face of the NBA, so to speak. You know what I mean? Anthony didn't have it as great. He had a good game, but it wasn't as loud as I thought it might have been on that big of a stage. I don't think it needed to be, though. The bench was great, and the rest of the players are great. The Wolves, I ended with this. The Wolves, listen, when they traded Cat for Julius and DiVincenzo, they looked choppy in the beginning of the year. Everyone thought, oh, what a terrible trade. They started getting hot down the stretch. I think they were like 17-4. They started playing extremely well. But they're big, they're physical. Nas Reed, Rudy Gobert, players like that, along with the lack of size the Lakers had. I would have really liked to have seen the Lakers get that kid Mark Williams, the Dalton Connect trade guy got rescinded. I think that would have helped them. But I think they're undersized. They're good offensively, but I think they get embarrassed by. I don't think they're gonna go more than 6 games. You know what I mean? Anybody else want to tap
Wolves
in?
in 6.
That's what I'm gonna say. Anyone want to get
Wolves
in there?
in 6. You said
Wolves in
Wolves in
6.
6. Lakers in 7.
Lakers in 7.
Yep.
Speak on it.
I mean, I like the Wolves and everything like that. I do. I like the Timberwolves, and I'm not quote unquote bronze sexual, as Jay like to call them, right? Um,
Q,
I
can't
just
hear you,
think
buddy.
that I just think that with the trade of Luca going to LA, right? I think it's paramount, right? Now that Dallas is out of here, right? Dallas is gone, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
They're
gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Nico,
Yeah.
Nico still ain't fired. I could have sworn Nico should be fired any day now.
Mm.
They're gonna fire him any day now. But I think it's important for the Lakers and what they want to build with like a Luka Doncic moving forward to get out of the first round. And I think that they're gonna do everything that they can to get past a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves. Right. So I don't think it's gonna be easy by any means, especially the way they got their doors blown off yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I think LeBron, who and I don't like this. I don't like this part about LeBron's game in general. He does this thing where it's like he's looking to be the smartest guy in the room versus the most aggressive guy in the room,
Yeah.
right? And the older he's gotten, the more he's starting to do this. And I guess from the basketball analytic part, he is making the right play and he's doing the right thing. But nobody gives a fuck about that shit anymore, though. It's like you're LeBron James.
Yeah.
If this is your last season or next season is your last season, who knows? We know you're at the end. I don't give a fuck what LeBron says. He can say, "I want to play on 45."
Mm-hmm.
You're not, right? You're within your window to win right now is going to be on you. Doncic was more of the aggressor yesterday. Like Doncic was looking for a shot. There was times where he got the rock and I didn't even see him like twist his head to look and see where's Braun at before I do what I want to do, right? Which means Doncic is living in his moment. He's like, okay, if the future's mine, the future's mine. LeBron needs to demand to say, this is still my team, right? And because it's still my team, right? It's not that I can't defer to you, but I want to see Braun go for his. I think if LeBron becomes the aggressor, which he's going to have to, right? Then it's going to open up more shots for Luka. It's going to make the game easier for Reeves, right? And although, I got to agree with Jay, and I don't like agreeing with him all the time, because they're not the best defensive matchup for a team like Minnesota, you're going to have to outscore them. And outscore them they can because they have more the weapons that they have are more prominent. Yes, I think Julius Randle's a good scorer. I think Dante DiVincenzo's a good scorer. I think Anthony Edwards is absolutely amazing. I don't think that we're going to continue to see Naz Reid do what he's going to do. Naz Reid had an amazing game, absolutely, but that's also not sustainable, right? Naz Reid is not going to do that for the next 3 to 4 games. He's going to do Naz Reid shit. I mean, he's going to give you points, but he's not going to have that game, right? So when you look at somebody like LeBron, when you look at somebody like Austin Reeves, when you look like somebody like Luka Doncic, and then you start talking about the Finney Smiths, and you start talking about the Hachimuras, and you start talking about the other ancillary pieces that can give you either defensive stops or score for the Lakers. The Lakers are still a better scoring team. I believe LeBron could give you 20 a night. Luka can give you 25 a night. LeBron actually can give you 25 a night if he wanted to. LeBron can give you 25 a night. Luka can give you 25 a night. And you could absolutely get anywhere between 15 and 20 from Austin Reeves on any given night. And if they decide to play that type of basketball, although it'll be a war of attrition at this point because Minnesota ain't going nowhere, right? I think the Lakers can win in 7. And after the Lakers win in 7, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a
That's
problem
wild.
because
You're saying
listen,
Lakers in 7? That's interesting.
the Lakers in
That's
7,
wild.
right? But what happens after the Lakers in 7? They're a second round knockout because they're LeBron is old. LeBron is not going to be able to give you a 7-game series and then turn around and give you another series in 5. Like that works out. That works out for whoever draws the Lakers in the second round. Yes, let them take it to 7 so that we could pounce on them. You know what I'm saying? And probably get a gentleman sweep in the second round.
I think it's gonna be OKC.
Jump in
Right?
there,
If I'm
And
not
Q.
mistaken, right?
that's
No.
gentleman sweep to say the least. It might be a sweep. And if it's OKC
And
in the second round, that's either going to be a
Lakers,
sweep or a gentleman sweep. But the Lakers, I think the Lakers, long run, they get past Minnesota. I think.
I disagree, man. I
I
think the
mean,
Lakers. I think we've seen the best of what the Lakers could be. I
I
think.
agree.
I think that's it. And I think LeBron's reign has ended. Like if he wants to continue
Leprechaun?
one more year, like that's it, man. Like yo, fuck the rainbow, my
Short like
nigga. That shit,
leprechauns.
that should
Actually,
just keep
shit, yeah.
that should just keep expanding this rainbow. But
we'll be having
Luka,
this
Ready for the
conversation.
come on, man.
comments,
Like yo,
Q.
yo,
When
yo,
the
Ready
yo,
for the
Lakers win,
comments.
this is all
I
recorded, right? Yo,
don't.
Cass, this is all recorded, right? Yo, Cass, when the Lakers pull this shit off, right? When the Lakers win in 7, right?
Mhm.
When we have to sit down and have that conversation, right?
Yo, what you drinking
Please.
over there, Ra?
Yeah, bro, you drinking Ray nephew or some shit? Man, like,
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
I mean,
Not
like,
at
yeah,
all.
you
I'll
drinking
say-
199 bananas?
Yeah.
I'm saying that, yo,
it's
Mad
Easter,
Dog
dude.
2020.
Yeah, word, man. You drinking blue steel or some shit, man? Like,
I'm glad all this is being said. I'm glad all this is being said because in the event that I'm right, and you have to pull this clip up, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because
Now,
on that day, guess what I'm gonna be drinking, y'all?
What you?
probably everything we just named.
A humility cocktail, you know, like
Now, here's
But-
the thing,
but-
Ra. Here's the thing,
aged Merlot, you know.
Ra. Can I talk? Can I talk
Yeah,
some sense into you?
yeah.
Can I talk some
absolutely.
sense into you?
Absolutely,
right.
please do.
So, I was listening to what you said, right? Now, here's the thing. You said LeBron could give us 20.
25 a night.
25. Okay, he
If he
gave us
wants to.
19. He gave us 19 last night.
He can give you 25 if he wants.
What you call had 37.
He could do
Reeves
that
had
effortlessly.
Reeves
had
had
18.
16.
16. Mhm.
He can
Everyone
give you
else
20 a night.
3.
Hachimura had 9. Hachimura had 0. Right?
No,
Oh,
Hachimura
9.
had
Right
no.
here, 9, right?
These
Yeah,
guys,
Nine.
these guys is they nothing, man. Like I saw it all season. I watched the Lakers and I was like, what is this team? Now when
Trash.
the league tried to save the Lakers and send them send them
I
Luka,
agree with that though.
They thought that would help.
Expand on that. When the league tried to save the Lakers,
I
expand on
like
that.
it.
Yo, expand on that. Yo, expand on that,
the
son.
Lakers, man. That's their
did.
big team. You know, you got New York on the east, you got the Lakers on the west. They tried to save the Lakers. They gave them the best player in the West, right? It's still not enough. It's still not enough. The Lakers, if they last 5 games, I'll be surprised. If they last 5. Because, bro, you got Anthony Edwards. He's young. He's
So
hungry.
you're saying the Lakers are getting swept?
No, I give them 1 victory.
You said
I
if
give
they
them
last
1.
5 games. That's 1 win. All they need is 1 win. That gets them to 5.
Yeah, 1.
But you'll be
1.
surprised.
That's not
You'll
a
be
sweep.
surprised.
They'll get 1.
No,
Gentlemen sweep.
You're saying no. Don't do that. Don't do that, LD. You just said if the Lakers last 5 games, you'll be surprised. Which means to say, if the Lakers get to a 5th game, which means if the Lakers win 1 game, you'll be surprised.
I'd be surprised, yes, because
right. Yo,
I'm not seeing. They don't have the talent,
today?
bro. They don't have the talent. They got an aging LeBron. You got possibly one of the top 3 players in Luka. Yes, I give them that. But other than that, nothing.
Off. Take those off, Jay. Like, Jay shooting John Morant, and you over there, John Morant, and this bullshit. Yo,
Take your glasses off, Skip.
And now you're doing a bogle?
Skip.
Don't date yourself.
Yo, Skip.
Yo.
Nah, that was Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas when he got caught with the burner. He was in the middle of the what he called it.
Oh
the
yeah. In DC, yeah.
In DC.
Right. No, D, go ahead and finish. I mean, I don't want to step on anything.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I said what I had to say.
Just like the Lakers.
Lakers
suck.
suck.
Like the Lakers.
Let me end by saying this. They suck, man.
There's no way you can be done when you say if the Lakers make it to 5 games, I'd be surprised. Because
Lakers is trash.
The Lakers ain't trash. But and again, so you're saying Minnesota sweep.
Fool's gold.
Say what you're saying.
It's fool's gold, bro.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna say it. Minnesota will sweep the Lakers.
All right, it said it's on the books now.
Book it.
No, it's fool's gold.
Now, wait.
Now,
Now let me do my shit. Let me do my shit.
Oh God!
You know
Somebody
what I'm
take the
saying?
microphone. Can we mute this guy?
Hold up. You know what? Before
Why
you do
want
that,
to mute somebody? Yo, can we get a $10 bet on that?
wait.
The
Let's take a
Lakers
shot.
don't
Hold on.
I want a beer.
let's
What
do
about
100.
you? You want a beer?
I'll do
I
the
got
bet.
$100.
I'll take the five. I'll take the Minnesota in 5 bet.
No, you didn't say that. Don't do that. Don't become.
I'm drunk right now.
Please don't turn it to Stephen A. when you try to amend your words. Listen, you said if the Lakers.
You obliviating.
Yeah, if the Lakers make it to 5, you would be surprised. Which means if they get swept, that's exactly what you thought would happen. If they don't get swept, they're like, oh shit, the Lakers won a game.
Rob,
So
would you say this if they lose the next game in their building? They lost game 1. Would you say gentlemen sweep?
I'm trying to get a bet. Hold on one second.
Nah.
You're trying to get a $5 bet, man. This shit, this ain't FanDuel.
I'm gonna take the bet.
What's the bet?
It's $10. It's just for the fun of it. Hey,
$10. The Lakers are still here in 5 games. Now back to you, Cash. What'd you say?
Then now I want some action though. Hold on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how I was saying.
You
Like,
talking my language now.
yo, I'm
Side
gonna put 20 that Son is right.
Nah,
Now who's right?
I'm not gonna do
That
5.
Son,
I'll do Wolves in 6. You want
That's
to
what
take
I
that?
had. I had
No,
Wolves in 6.
Okay. If the Lakers,
All right.
if there's a
I really
fifth
got
game
them in
this
5.
motherfucker, I
Wolves
got.
in 5. Wolves in 5. Wolves in 5. I'm being original. I was just playing around.
Our
They gonna
bet
win
was
one.
that the.
They gonna win one. They gonna win
So
one.
so the bet's off or the bet's on?
Yeah, well, Luke and LeBron, you gotta win. You can't not win
How
one.
about
Bro.
this?
Come on, man.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about this?
I
You
say
said
2. They'll win
Lakers in
2.
7. You said Lakers in 7, right?
Yeah,
I'll
Lakers
take
in
that
7.
bet. They will not win in 7. I'll take that bet.
That's just you taking the stretch. That's
That's
when you're
wild.
saying, I think you're wrong. I don't think they'll be there in 7. I'm like, I think they will be there in
That's
7.
like saying, I know the Sun's gonna set tomorrow at 7:40.
Yeah,
7:40.
that's just say, yo, Rob, put money where your mouth is, and I'm not willing to do that you said, but I am willing to put money where what you said. If the Lakers are here in 5 games, you'd be surprised.
He holding your feet to the fire, D. He holding your feet to the fire.
6. They won't last 6. They won't make it to 6.
Yo, this Lakers team,
How
like
about that one?
this Lakers team. Why
The
is
Lakers
this
won't make
Lakers
it to a
team-
game 6.
Why is this Lakers team like?
So
Why?
you're telling me
Because they're the Lakers?
The Lakers can't win 2 games in the series.
You're saying 5-4-1 then, right, D? So take that bet.
I agree.
Well,
I don't think the
I'll
Lakers.
take that
I don't
bet,
think the,
yeah.
I don't think the Lakers win 2
4-1.
games.
Yo, right, he said
swept.
4-1. You got that? $10 on that. 4-1.
No. He's saying the Lakers can't win 2 games. The 4-1 is my bet. That's what I wanted. He said the Lakers.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. 4-1. He's saying 4-1.
No, he's saying at this point, he's saying that the Lakers won't make it to like what?
Game 6, he's saying.
Game 6. He's
If they-
saying
Yeah.
4-1.
4-1, yeah.
They can't win 2 games.
Yeah.
You're
And
saying
they're
they're
not
gonna win.
going to win
He's
2
saying
games.
Lakers
You're saying
in
they're
5.
gonna win the series, which
Yeah,
is
it's gonna go.
why I asked you what you're drinking over there.
Yo, right, he said Minnesota.
He said-
Listen, let me clear it up. Minnesota in 5. You got that bet?
No, I'll take the 2. Yeah, we could do it. I think the Lakers will win 2
No
games.
Chinese food, no nothing.
Yeah, I got $10 if the Lakers win 2 games.
To get my money, bet that right back.
I got
That
$10
goes
if the Lakers win 2 games.
There it goes. There's the bet.
All right, there it goes. Lock it in.
I got
Lock it
$10.
in.
And this is based off Is this based off their season body of work? It can't be based off last night's efforts.
This
Nah.
is just based off of me
Based off
being
the
Robert
season.
the real, and you know.
This is based on Bron's sexuality.
Well, here's the thing. All right, let me.
It
let me
can't be
say
based off the
this. Let me
season
say
because the
this.
only reason,
Hold on.
like Luka saved their season, so it can't be
Can I
based
say
off the
this?
season.
Luka
Can I say
didn't
this?
save their season.
Now-
Their season would have been saved if they'd have left the Lakers alone. That's how you save the Lakers. But Luka didn't save their season. They
That's
saved
wild.
Luka changed the future of what the Lakers are trying to do.
Yeah, I
That's
agree
what
with
Luka
that.
did.
I
Like
agree
that's a
with that.
future move. Like
Now I don't know if the league wants LeBron to get one more. So you're like, all right,
Of
on
course,
paper,
the league wants LeBron to
they
get
should
one more.
not
No,
win.
no, we're not going to do that. No, look, we're not going to do what the league wants, and you know, then when you're
can't
saying
be
we cash out
delusional
me my
here,
$10, you're going to be saying, well, the league wanted that to happen. The league paid.
Nah,
you,
because
no.
you do have to play that into the effect. This is the most
This
wildest trade that we've seen in probably the history of sports history.
That's a
Like,
different debate altogether.
No,
That's
that's a
because now
statement. That's a
that's
statement.
It's also a debate, and I'm gonna tell you why it's a debate. It's a statement and a debate at the same time because now we're saying that the league has got some WWE.
All right, so
like, you know
right
what
now
I'm
off the
saying?
top of
Like,
your head, all right, so off the top of your head right now, let me know right now what team has gained the most off a trade real quick mid-season. Boom, go. Like
what team
that was
this year
astronomical.
or in general?
Anything in history, please. That was to this effect. I'll wait.
I don't think I've ever seen a trade like this in
Exactly,
in
astronomical, bro. They allowed this shit.
mid-season.
Yo, what's crazy? They canceled Chris Paul coming to the Lakers, and they're gonna allow Luka. That shit is Please make it.
I'm sure we could think of one, but I can't think of one right now.
No, I can't think of one
because you're not
maybe.
gonna think of one, man. You're not gonna think of one, bro. Like, yo, people was pushing buttons, and people was like, yo, let that shit go. Man, like, yo, we in a whole different world now.
You could argue the
gentlemen.
Anthony Davis trade in the bubble year.
Yeah,
That changed their whole season.
That changed it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
man,
Lakers
but like,
went
yo,
on. The Lakers went on. The
Lakers win again.
Yeah, they won a chip that year. Yeah, for Kuzma and Ball and all them dudes and shit.
And who was involved with that? Because I deleted that whole shit out of my memory, bro. I don't even count that Lakers shit. That
tell
whole
you,
bubble shit is out my
I-
memory.
I could tell you
I
a
don't
quiet-
agree with that. That's a subject for another day. But like everyone was in
I
a
don't-
bubble.
I-
Why
I
that
can tell
doesn't
you,
count? If we all
can
in a
tell
bubble,
you-
why it don't count?
There's
can
more,
tell you-
and I would love to have that conversation too.
We'll
but
talk
I
about
agree
that
with you.
another.
Yeah,
We'll talk
about
about
that
that
this
this
week.
week.
I could tell you one more quiet trade that happened this year. A quiet trade because it was more fluff than actually impact, and the impact is obvious right now. A quiet trade that happened this year. It wasn't necessarily quiet, but it's not something that people are really looking at. Jimmy Butler from Miami to
Warriors.
Golden State is a wild
That was
trade.
such.
That's
such
a
a
wild
great
trade.
That's having some impact. Yeah,
It's having more than a bunch of
Yeah.
impact because guess what? Minnesota's looking. I mean, not Minnesota. Golden State is looking very hot, and not for nothing. Although I don't think LeBron could win another chip this year. You know, I think you fuck around and ignite Golden State and get them comfortable and get them gelling. And let's again, Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler is balling the way he balls, and Steph is balling the way he balls, and the rest of that Golden State squad is doing, defending, shooting how they shoot. I would not be surprised if I would listen. If anybody could dethrone the juggernaut, which I think is OKC right now, if anybody could slow down that momentum, me personally, it's not Houston, it's not LA, it's not the Clippers, but it would be Golden State. To me, Golden State is still one of the scarier teams in the West. That if OKC has to go up against it,
I concur.
that's a problem. That's a problem. And if Golden State should come out of the West for whatever reason, right? What team are you confident in right now? And the East can beat them. It ain't the Celtics. It ain't my beloved Knicks either.
What, Golden State?
Golden State comes out the West. Who in the East takes them out?
I think the Celtics will beat them.
I think
the Cavs might be able to beat them too.
I
definitely don't think the Cavs.
I think the Knicks could beat them. I think the Knicks could beat them.
Knicks could beat them too, actually.
I think the Knicks could beat them.
You think that the Knicks could beat Golden State as currently
In a 7-game series?
7-game series?
Well, it can only be as currently constructed. We're in the playoffs.
No. I'm just saying. Listen,
we ain't gonna add more pieces.
It depends because they didn't look good the other night. They have nights where they look really good and they have nights where they look really off. So
that
team is not big enough. That team is not big enough to sustain
they're not big enough
in a long playoff run.
The Memphis series is gonna be a good series though.
And Steph Curry's not gonna be shooting for fucking 35 feet.
That's
behind the line. He's not gonna do that shit.
He can.
He's not gonna do it every time. He's not gonna do it every time.
Why not? That's what he does. I don't know.
Because you can't depend on that. You can't depend on it. But also see what they're doing.
That's what he does.
That's his career.
No.
That's his career. You're
not gonna be able to do that shit.
Listen, not for nothing. I'll go say,
he's been doing it for the past 15 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. You lost me on that one.
Jimmy Buggers.
Outside of
Jimmy Buggers.
You said Jimmy Buggers?
Look. Outside of Michael Jordan, who is Michael fucking Jeffrey Jordan, right? The only other player, and this is including LeBron, right? I'll put LeBron and stuff. The only player that has consistently been exactly who he's gonna be, game in, game out, where it's not even where you're like, damn, what version of Steph are we gonna get tonight? It's Steph Curry. Steph Curry's only had to be the killer, the babyface assassin that he's been for his whole career. And even in moments where he wasn't that, you have to account for him that way, right? So I'm more scared, and again, I'm a big LeBron James fan, right? But I'm more scared of Steph Curry in his bag than I am of LeBron because LeBron has so many bags that he could go into. Tonight, I'm going to be the assist man. Tonight, I'm going to be the defensive juggernaut. Tonight, I'm going to be the scorer. Or tonight, I want to be all those things in one. Steph is saying, watch out for me as I run these screens. And if I get the ball in my hands and I decide to shoot it from half court, guess what? There's a 70 to 80% chance that I hit this half court shot. So you gotta check me at half court too. And that's that.
All right. Well, listen, like the playoffs are
cash go. Cash straight disappeared.
Nah, the playoffs are long playoffs. We have game one is in the books. I mean, day one is in the books.
Day one is in the books.
We're starting day two. We, as you can kind of see over my left shoulder, we have the OKC game is going on right now.
Oh, damn, I didn't even place a bet on. That's what I wanted to bet on that. Damn.
Yeah. That game started over my shoulder they're in quarter number 2. So
damn.
We will absolutely see what happens, and it should be a fun time. This is the most wonderful time of the year, not Christmas, playoffs.
Right.
So,
Facts.
and there he goes, he's back. So
That's right.
we'll kind of go from there, man. Any plans for Easter Sunday, gentlemen, or y'all just gonna watch the games and chill out like me?
No, we gonna watch the games, boy. We gonna be back at it.
Yeah, I'm about to run over to the family's house, have a little brunch.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Go out on top.
I'll be watching some games too, man, on my phone. My little I'm about to turn that OKC game on right now.
Word up. I'm watching the games and show my kids in the yard and you know what I mean? Do what it do, man. Like good to be around good people, man. Like
Gentlemen,
this is a blessing. This is a blessing moment. Let's go.
Let's toast to Philly autos and foot long knives. Let's go.
Good work today. Good work today, y'all.
Good work, guys.
Got it right. Salute.
Gentlemen.
Salute.
Peace. Enjoy Easter.
Peace.
See you Monday. We back at it Monday. Let's go.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.